Hey everyone, this is I Spend For You. I'm about to take you through my walkthrough of tattoo removal with TCA. This will be the proper way to actually apply it and the proper way to actually make sure that you do not scar yourself. Um, Through dilution, you will be able to successfully apply this stuff without causing excess scarring, excess redness. And here's the video, and hopefully this will be educational and insightful for you. Hey everyone, this is my first episode of TCA removal for my tattoo. You'll see that I have here everything that I possibly need. First is the alcohol that I'm going to be using, or have already actually used, to clean the tattoo. You'll notice Vaseline to stop any runners, meaning that if you have a lot of TCA removal liquid, that way it will stop it before it runs down your leg, arm, chest, wherever you may be removing that tattoo from. I have my tattoo removal TCA. I have a bottle to mix it in. I have some Q-tips, some baking soda, and some distilled water. What you'll do is you will mix your TCA with the distilled water for the proper dilution. I've used 1-to-1, which will actually end up being 25% TCA concentration, which is actually the same thing that they use for chemical facial peels and whatnot. You also use the baking soda and the water to mix a paste, which I have already done, for neutralization of the acid. So just make sure that you do dilute the TCA. You do not want to use it full strength. If you look on YouTube and whatnot, you will see that people are typically using it for, they are not diluting it. They are using it full strength, which will scar you, which will cause a lot of redness. And it typically looks like someone burned themselves with a torch. So I will go ahead and apply the TCA on my ankle, which is the other tattoo that I want to remove. So what I will do here is I will dip it into the bottle, which I've also already pre-mixed. And instructions say to keep it liberally coated and keep it wet, because you want the acid to fully take effect. You do not want it to dry out. And make sure, unlike I have already done, is to start your timer. Like I said, it typically, for me, about 4 minutes. It will start to burn. That burn is showing me that it's working. Also, on the instructions, it will say once it starts to frost is when you need to neutralize. Not when it frosts the whole way through, but when it initially starts. So what I'm looking for is just a little bit of white on that tattoo. I'll just keep on rubbing it fresh until it starts to frost. I haven't felt anything yet, but it's been about only a minute since I started. You just want to make sure that you keep it moist. I typically keep the Q-tip moist enough to the point where I can apply it over a tattoo without having it so wet that it starts to cause runners. It has been about a minute and a half or a little bit over, and I am starting to feel a little bit of tingle in the tattoo. I'm going to keep on rubbing it to make sure that it is moist. That tingle tends to start being a burn. I've not experienced that yet, but I did get a little bit of a runner. To counter that, I'll take another dry Q-tip and try and soak up the moisture from that TCA that ran. This is actually the third treatment on this tattoo. Hoping to see a little bit more of an improvement on it. You will notice the heavy blue tone to it. That tone is pretty new considering the fact that it is about 10 years old. The TCA previous treatments have brought out that blue because it's eating away at the skin layers. I am starting to feel a little bit more of a burn now. I'm still keeping it moist. I think it's pretty moist right now, so I'm going to leave it. I'm going to experience that burn continually. It will get more intense as time goes on. I have not seen any frosting yet. And if I look at my clock, it's been right at around a little over 3 minutes since I started this. I'm expecting to feel a little bit more, which I am. In the interest of not having this video too long, I decided to start it quite early, or quite late into the game. I've actually already treated 6 other tattoos this morning. And that burning sensation is actually becoming a little intense. If I look at it, which I'm not sure if you can see, I noticed one little blemish that was on the skin before is turning a little white, but I wouldn't say that it's frosting yet. It's now just over 4 minutes since I started applying this. And starting to see a little bit of frosting, and it's probably hard for you to see, but it is definitely turning a little bit white, so that's at the point where it tells you to neutralize it. So I'm going to dip my hands with a vinyl glove into the neutralization paste, and I'm just going to apply that liberally. Remember, it is kind of abrasive, the paste, and that's the timer going off. The paste is a little abrasive, so, and in my experience, you will feel a little bit more of a burn actually as it's neutralizing. But it is kind of cooling to the area. And I'm just going to leave that sitting there for a second while it neutralizes the acid. Alright, there we go. I think it's pretty well covered every place that I had the acid, including the runners that had going on. And once I feel that the burn has stopped, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick my foot into the shower or underneath the sink to wash it off, as it says. After that, I will apply Neosporin according to the instructions. And what you will do is you will apply Neosporin for about a week. The skin will pretty much look like a really bad sunburn. It will become very, very wrinkly. And once it starts to peel, you are to apply moisturizer to it morning and night, just like you are the Neosporin, every morning, every night. Try and keep it as moist as possible. And you should not see any consistency changes within the skin itself. After the peeling is done, it should feel like brand new skin, just as if you were done peeling from sunburn. So, anyways, that feels like it is fully neutralized. There's no more burning. It's just a cooling sensation from the neutralization. So I'm going to stick it underneath the sink. Kind of helps to have a chair to do this under. Now I'm just washing it off. And if you'll notice, it seems a little bit pink, which is perfectly normal, but also you will notice that it is a little frosted over, which means that it did take effect. This is actually feeling quite good. And after about an hour or two, in my experience, you'll see the frosting kind of go away, and the consistency changes typically take about a day. It should not burn your skin beyond belief, like I've seen so many times on videos. It will not cause excessive redness. Depending on the skin, it might cause a little bit of bruising, like if you were to consider the fact that I did it underneath my arms, which is not an area typically exposed to light. As you will see here, I've already applied this morning on these two tattoos, as well as these tattoos. You will see there's a little bit of redness to the armband, upper arm. I also applied it to the ones on my back. You'll see a Chinese symbol, which is very, very red. And that is pretty much it. I'm done with the TCA outside of applying the Neosporin to it. And I will keep you informed. I will follow this up in about 5 to 6 weeks when I am done with the next, or when I apply the next treatment. I would suggest that you do not do any sort of full strength that will cause scarring, as so many videos have shown it before. That will cause a lot of pain, and it's just really not worth it. It could cause permanent damage. I do not have permanent damage from the first treatment, and I don't expect it this time. I will continue to do this until I see that either the results prove themselves or that they don't. But regardless, I do not see any permanent scarring in my future. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.